In this lab, we're going to be going over conditional jumps to compare a large quantity of numbers. In addition, introducing the loop instruction to simplify the process. Before we continue, please like my video, comment below, share it, and subscribe. Don't forget to read the description below for more information about the video, the timestamps, and how to support me. Now, the jump instructions and subroutines, as you saw in last week's lab, gives us a great control over how a program operates. Please review program 4 from last week. It was very beneficial for us to use the power of a subroutine to eliminate the repetitive code to constantly compare the AX and BX registers, replacing them instead with reusable code within the subroutine. But in that program, we compare only 6 numbers. What if we had 50 numbers to compare, 100 numbers, or 500 numbers? Now, this lab will introduce us to 2 very important concepts related to making programs flexible to changing data, which more realistically portrays the real world. Last week, we were asked by our project manager to determine which of these 6 assembly lines had the highest production quantity. This week, we will realize it's actually easier to compare a large quantity of numbers versus the 6, because we can take advantage of some features of microprocessors and computer programming concepts. So here, our first program is going to be a modification from program 4 from last week, adding the ability to index or offset a memory location. Here's the flowchart. I'll show you right here. The flowchart and the code for this modification. Notice the line count in this program refers to a series of numbers, not just one number as in the previous week example. Okay, let's go ahead and start here. Let me explain to you guys what's going on. It's always recommended to do a flowchart of your before doing the actual programming. It helps you get your ideas together. Now, the purpose of this program, or the first program of the lab, is to compare 2 numbers from a given data list, and which number is larger. The larger number is going to be stored and register AL. Okay, so here we are adding the number 1 to register CL, which is going to be our counter register. As you recall earlier, as register CL or CX is used as a counter register. Then we're going to move the number 1 to register DL. And then we're going to go ahead and move the first value and from the line count memory to register AL. Here we're going to move the first value plus the number 1, in this case, and from the register CX or CL. What's happening here is that we're moving the first value, which is located on spot 0, location 0, move to register AL, and the value located in line counts on the second spot, which is located at location 1. Remember, the location goes 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, starts with 0. Here, we're comparing the second value that we move to register BL if it's FFH. FFH is going to be used as a marker indicator, which is going to tell us that we have gone through the whole list and that's the last value in that list. Look, and when I mean list, I'm talking about the list located in memory location line counters. Okay. Then here we're going to go to a subroutine, which is get larger number, and that's where we do the comparison. And then once I compare it, whichever is larger is going to be at, let's just say AL, and then we're going to go ahead and add one more number to register DL, and then we start over again. Okay, it's going to go to the next value, and again and again. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and write the code, and there I can explain it with more details what's happening. Okay, it's always recommended to create these flowcharts, so we have a guideline of how our program would be. So this is recommended. Okay. All right. I went ahead and opened up Visual Studio 2022, so we can go ahead and start doing our lab number 5. Here where it says create a new project, we're going to go ahead and click there, and we're going to go ahead and look for our template. That template is going to help us create our future labs. As you guys can see here where it says recent project templates, I already have the template that we need. And by the way, if you have this looking like this, pointed side by side, that means if there's any other items that are being added here, this template is going to move downward and downward. However, if you click it here and it's this, the symbol is looking like this, that means once we add a new template or project, it's not going to push this template. It's going to keep it on top. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Now, in case you guys, excuse me, in case you guys don't have this template over here, we just want to be sure we have here where it says languages. It's all languages, all platforms, and all projects are selected. You can either scroll all the way down, all the way up. You will find our template, x86 MASM template. Go all the way down. There it goes. You can also search it up here as x86, and as you guys can see, it's also here. Okay, let's go ahead and click that. Click next. Now, just be aware, I forgot to mention this before, but Visual Studio is really sensitive of how long the name is. So try to keep it short. Otherwise, it will give you some sort of a message, an error message about it. So let's put this as Lab 5 project, like that. 1. I'm sorry, not project. Program 1. Since it's the first program on lab number 5. Okay. Be sure your location is whichever you had your previous labs saved. I have mine is here. Again, notice that the name from the project name and the solution name stays the same. Okay. And then place solution project in the same directory. We're gonna keep this unchecked, and then we're gonna hit create. I don't see the text editor, so it's probably here. Double click here. Ah, there it is. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and just copy it down from our lab here, our code. Please do not copy and paste, because when you copy and paste it from the actual PDF, for some reason, for some reason I do not know, it just doesn't recognize certain, text. It's probably because the PDF has a different type of text. It's probably, I don't know, some different type of text that we're using here. But either way, my point is that do not copy and paste, otherwise it's not going to come out right. Trust me. Go ahead and just type in what we have there. Please also add your comments to it, okay? All right. So let me go ahead and do that. And of course, with the miracle of video editing, here it goes. Now let's go ahead and run this so I can explain to you guys what's going on here. Again, this program is how to choose, how to find the largest number of a list from a list using a subroutine and the end of data marker. This is my end data marker representing the number 255, FFH and hexadecimal, for the reason that there's 256 bytes in an 8-bit register. Remember, the 0 is considered to be one of the bits from 0 to 255, which is the same as 256 bytes. Okay? And now here in the bottom, largest number, get largest number, that's our subroutine. That's the subroutine. And let me go ahead and put a breaker right here so we can see what's going on. Be sure this one says 86 right here. We're going to go ahead and build our solution first. Going to build, click. Everything looking good here. And now we're going to go to debug and start debugging. Just wait. Okay, now that we have run the program, let's go ahead and see what's going on here. For the first line number 7 here, I went ahead and we stored the numbers and location line counts. Here's our marker. On the first step here, we're going to move the number 1 to register CL. That's going to represent our index. Okay. So move it down. As you can see, register CX is now 1. Register DL is going to have the number 1 also. That's going to represent the number of slots. In this case will be the first slot. Now when I say first, I mean slot number 1. So we count in slot in number 0, 1. 0 represents the number 2. Slot number 1 represents the number 8. And slot number 2 represents the number 3. 0 is 2, 8, and 1 is 8, and 2 is 3. Okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and move it down here. Alright, so now we have DX has the number 1, the CX has the number 1. And now we're going to move line count, the first value, which in this case will be the number 2, and slot 0 to AL. So here's AX. That's going to should be the number 2 when I click here, which it is. And now we're going to go ahead and go down. See, that can move. Now we're going to go down one more time, and it's comparing it. It's going to say it's BL. Where's BL? BL right here. FFH, also known as 255. We know it's not. If it was, it would have gone to done. But since it's not, it's going to jump to nothing yet. Nothing happening yet. It's going to jump to get largest number, which is, here it goes right here. And now it's going to compare. Is AL larger than BL? Let's see. AL larger than BL? No. If it was, we will have gone to done because we have found our largest number. But if it's not, then we're going to move these numbers. So let's see what happens. So we have number 2 and number 8. We go down 1. Nothing there. And one more. Okay. Now, because we move whatever was in BL to AL, now the number 8 can move to AX. See? Okay. And then here we have a CL move to DL. CL is the number 1. It's going to move to DX right here. Just don't get confused when I'm talking DL, DX. They both mean the same register. It just is it's either in 8 bits or 16 bits. But we all talk about the same registers. All right, let's go to the next step. And then let's see. So dx was 1, got moved to cx, which is 1, and now dl is going to go up by 1, increment of 1. So that means that would have been number 2. Let's see what happens. There we go, number 2, and we're done. And then we're going back up here right after where it says get largest number. Okay, let's see. So CL, which is 1, is going to go up by 1 more, which will become 2. There we go. And then we're going to jump, compare next, which is up here. And then we're going to grab line counts CX. Remember, CX is the number 2. So it'll be that's the slot number 2, which will be the number 3. So that means the number 3 from our data list is going to go to BL. Let's go here. There you go, BL dash number 3. It's going to compare with the FFH. And we know if it was true, it will have gone to done, which is finish the program ends. But since it's not, it's going to go down here. Let's see that happening. Nothing happening here. Okay, there we go. It jumped to get largest number. Now it says compare BL with AL with BL. Let's see. AL is 8. BL is 3. If AL is larger, then jump to done. Since that is true, then there we go. Jump to done. And then we're going to increase now again the index so we can read the next slot value, which in this case will be the number 2 again. Okay, the number after the 3. So if I go down here, jump to next. So we're going over the whole thing again. We're repeating the thing. So this is BL, which is right here. This 3 will change to number 2. There we go. And there we go for now, guys. This is how this program works. Okay, thank you. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the next program. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment below, and read the description. Okay, let's go ahead and stop this for now. We're going to save what we have. Now we're going to do program number 2 from lab number 5. We're going back to our Visual Studios 2022, create a new project. We'll go ahead and look for our template. Let's go and click here since I already have mine here. Click next. This one, I'm going to name it Lab 5 Program or Pro 2. Everything looks good. My location is good. Uncheck here. Create. Okay. Oh, there's an update. We'll do that later. Now we're going to click here to open our main.asm. Double click it. Here we go. All right. And now again, like I mentioned before, we're going to go ahead and type it in, because if we do a copy and paste, it will just Visual Studio will not recognize the fonts given when you do the copy and paste. Okay. So before we start, I just want to say that this program number 2, the purpose is to choose the largest value from a list of numbers using a subroutine, which is using a loop instruction. Okay, so basically we will set register CL from our example to a value. We'll execute a series of instructions, then we'll get to the loop instruction, which will decrease the register ECX by 1. And finally, the result would not and finally, if the result is not equal to 0, we jump into instruction at label. What this means really is the following. Let's go to our PDF. So this is actually the loop instruction. So inside the loop instruction is this command right here. So when you do the loop instruction, once we hit the loop instruction, we're going to execute this command that says jump to next, but decreasing in a decreasing way. Okay. So, and our label will be the ECX. So once we hit the loop instruction, it's going to decrease by one number, and our label from the label located ECX. So if we go down here in our PDF, let me see, jump, okay, here it goes. Loop, comp next. So this one is going to go to comp next, compare next. Down here, no, it's up here. Compare next, okay. All right, so it's making the CX to decrease its value. Okay, let me go ahead and run the program, and you will see what I'm talking about. Okay, all right. All right, here's our registers. Let's go ahead and do a right click so we can see our flags registers. Also, let's go ahead and do the following. We're gonna go to, and let me see. We'll go to debug, Windows, watch number 1. What this is going to help us with is going to appear our values in decimal format, so we can distinguish what's going on with our registers. I already went ahead and typed in the registers, but if you need to type it in, just click add item. Well, I'm sorry, add item to watch, and just click, type in, like for example, EDX. Okay, so please go ahead and do that. Let me go and erase this one. We don't need it. I don't need it. But yes, let's go and move up. Let me move up here. So please go ahead and click add EAX, EBX, ECX, and EDX. Okay, just type it in and press enter. What that's going to do is going to appear our values that we have here in the registers and decimal. So let's go give you an example. Switch back to registers. So when I go to the next line, it should, the first value in line count, in our case, the number 50, which is going to represent the number of values that we have total here. So the number 50 will be our starting, it'll be our index value or our offset number of our register. Let's go ahead and click the next step here. So the value 50 is going to register CL. So as you can see, we have the number 32 and CL. So when we go and click here, watch 1, it shows the ECX is the value 50. So as you can see, in the watch panel here, it will appear the values that we have up here as decimals. Unlike the registers, recall that this all appears in hexadecimals. Okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and continue on. The next step, when we click here, let's go ahead and say, it says here that let the value, let's see, no, I'm sorry, I'm up here. Let whatever value is in register CL or ECX, go ahead and copy it to register EDX, DL. Okay, so 32 can move to 32 or copy. Now here Since we haven't yet started, we assume the largest value is the first slot. When I meant by what we meant by larger value, I meant by the value up here. Okay? So let's go and hit next step. So it grabbed the number 4 and it copied to EAX. Now, of course, if we go down here to watch, we'll see the register EAX, the value in decimal is 4, which in hexadecimal is the same value. Okay? So now, pretty much you're saying, grab the line count registers, and whatever's in value CX, in this case 50, which is spot 50 will be the number 4, go ahead and move it to register EAX. Okay? Or in this case AL. Okay? Let's see, let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, so let's see what happened to, let me go back to my register, let me see what's going on with BX. Okay, and register BL. Oh, by the way, for now I'm going to continue with using the naming from the program. Okay, so register BL now has the value 4. Okay, which again is the same as 4 in decimal. Okay, let's continue on. Now it says call get large numbers. Okay, so now we're going here. Now we're comparing BL with AL, BL and AL, same value. Okay. Okay. Since they're the same, nothing happened. So now we're going to move BL to AL. So we're going to move this 4 to this 4 here, this 4 to this area, this register right here. Okay. And then we're going to move CL to DL, CL to DL. Okay. Let's see. What's the CL represent? CL is also 50. Okay. Let's go back down here, next step. Now we're going to our loop, compare next. So as you can see, we've been using the get large number subroutine, and we'll be using also the loop command here. Okay, and that's what's going on in this. So yeah, in this program, what we're doing is we are using the subroutine with a loop, and that's what the practice of this one is. Okay. Now the BL is the number 1. So if we go back up here, the number 1 is this spot right here. See number 1 right here. Okay. Notice our the register ECX is now 49. That's because we're going down by 1 number. Little by little, we're going down by 1 slot until we hit pretty much 0. And then that's when actually it'll be, slot 2. And that's what we're going to compare all of them and see which one is larger. Okay? Okay. I don't want to make this video too long because already the first part was long enough. So let me just do a couple more steps here. Continue on a couple more times. Let's see. And then what's the next one? Okay. Now we're going to go and compare BL and AL. Let me go and do that right now. Register BL has the number 1. Register AL has the number 4 from the previous value. And here it says, if the destination AL is greater than BL, jump to done. Okay, is the AL greater than BL? Yes. It goes to done. And then it goes back to this loop. Okay, and then we're going to go to compare next, which is up here. Okay, technically speaking, cup next is also a subroutine, like a small one, but the one we really are using here is the subroutine get large number and the loop together. Okay, all right, so we're going to move now the second one. Actually, no, not second, the third one, the one after the number 1, going backwards. So it should be spot number 48. So let's see. There it goes. So CX now is spot 48. Yeah. Okay. And we do step. Goes to get larger number. We move. Now we're gonna compare BL with AL. And we do the same thing again. Well, and so on. I'm gonna leave it like this for now, so the video won't be too long, but I guess you guys get the hang of it. And if anything, just comment below. All right. And good luck, guys. Have a nice day.